in Lake Forest, California. Just got finished tuning the CGR Blue 808 Formula Drift Camaro. Going to briefly go over the LSA install in this car. It's the motor out of the Cadillac CTS-V. It's a very simple install. I know it probably looks pretty crazy right now, but the motor actually drops right in for the most part with a few simple modifications, and it's an easy way to get 556 horsepower into your Camaro. So obviously you can see it's all tubed in the front end right now, but that didn't affect anything with the motor placement. The stuff we did different was we don't run a GM control module or a GM wiring harness, but those will be available shortly through GM Performance for this car. So we'll take a little look over here. The most obvious thing is at the back of the motor. You can see we had to cut the wiper tray out and make a modification to the passenger side wiper to get it to work. It only took about 45 minutes to do that. Just cut right out. Factory mounts can be used. You don't have to do anything to the firewall or the hood. Everything closes just fine. On the front of the car with the intake, we put a Holley 90mm regular throttle body on there to get rid of the throttle by wire on this car. But that's obviously not a necessity if you're going to go with a GM factory harness on the car. The other stuff we had to do, those coolant lines on the back for the intercooler, that's routed to the back of the car right now. We have a heat exchanger in the trunk, which is going to be coming out. We're going to be running it up front just like the Cadillac does. We just had some issues with moving fresh air through the trunk to keep it cool. So pretty simple deal there as well. You know, the factory heat exchanger is not that big, and I think Hennessy Performance makes an aftermarket one as well, which cools a little better. So the lines are just going to be run up front to a heat exchanger and a water pump up there. Pretty simple deal. As you can see, everything else is just like the stock LS3 that would go in the car. You know, we added some long tube headers. Hennessy Performance did the pulley. It's a really effective, cheap upgrade. Went from 9 pounds of boost up to 13 pounds of boost. And it works great. It's about $1,200 and it's worth every penny of it. Cooling's not an issue obviously on this car. We went overkill with the radiator, but it holds steady at about 195, and we did 3 dozen dyno pulls on it, and it never blinked over 200, even whenever we do back-to-back pulls. It's a wet sump system on the LSA, so you don't have to worry about locating anything for a dry sump. Like I said, it just bolts right up. The motor mounts we have on the car right now are from FOD Engineering. They're just billet aluminum motor mounts that go in the stock place, and they work great. So I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, you can go to blue808.com, and the gentleman that built the car, Luke Longberger, is a great guy to talk to if you have any questions on this install or you want to get one done. Like I said, really simple. It's basically just a motor swap, and then you got to change over the ECU and the wiring harness and add that heat exchanger, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the dyno runs, and we'll have more to come soon.